Hello everyone, welcome to Marlin Chess Kids. Today I'll show you the gameplay by Ihor and Irina, and this beautiful game complete in only 19 moves. And let's see how the game play and how the idea can checkmate fast in the 19 move. The game starts with the pawn to e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, d4, and now the pawn capture the pawn, c takes d. Then the knight capture knight, and this knight in the center of the square is very strong. And here the black play a g6, and then the white continue to develop another knight to knight c3, then the bishop to g7. So fine move, and you can see that the white is slightly better in this position because you have the two knights in the center of the board and you have more activity for the white. And the game continue with develop of the bishop to b to e3. Then the black continue to develop the knight to f6, and then pushing up another bishop to c4, and this allowed the white to go for a short castling, and this bishop can able to aim at the pawn of f7. Then after this the black go for short castling, and here the bishop play bishop to b3. After this the black continue to play d6 and white play f3, and then the black continue to develop the bishop to d7, and queen trying to play queen to d2, and you have the idea of exchanging of the bishop by playing bishop to h6, and after capture the queen will be at h6, and you have a strong idea to checkmate the king. So after this rook c8 was played, and here this is a first 10 move, and the white now has only an edge in this position. So after this, since that the black king is at this quarter at the king side, and here the white trying to castling to the queen side, and here after this the white can trying to play with the idea of h4, g4, and trying to storm at the king side and attack the black. So this is the idea that the white play, and therefore the white go for a long castling. After this the knight to e5, then the king move to h1 and trying to get away and go for the safety, because the rook is direct, have a indirect attack to the pin. That's why the king goes to b1 to have a safe place. To e8 was played, and now develop, and now the white start to launch the attack by playing h4. So after this h5 was played, and then the white storm again with g4. So you have a very strong idea of h4 and g4, and then you can bring the rook from d to g1 and continue the attack with open up the g file and h file. So after this move, h takes d4 was played, and now without capture the pawn, h5 was played. This idea trying to capture the pawn and check the king and win the rook if the black do not capture. So in the actual game, the g takes h5 was played, and here the position give white a slightly better. The another suggestion you can play is a knight capture, and this will give black a slightly better because after the rook d to g1, then the queen can just goes to a5 and keep on the attack. So in the actual game, after the pawn capture, now bishop goes to h6, and intending a very simple idea to play is to have the queen to g5 and just capture the bishop, and it will be a checkmate, as there is no pawn that can block the direct attack. So if you use the knight to take f3, then the knight will just capture it back, and here use the queen to go to a5, and then the bishop will just capture, and after capture, and at this position, the white will be continue to block with e5. So this e5, you have this attack, the knight able to check, and this knight later will be safe. And here queen to take, such as like this, the knight will just capture and will be win. So if you use the pawn to capture, then the queen will come here to check, and here if you have nothing much, if you move the king to inside, then the queen will just continue check, and if you move the king goes to g8, then the bishop can make a brilliant sacrifice by taking the pawn and check. And now after king check, then you use the knight to g5 and continue to check. So here king g8 was played, then you have a queen to g6 check, and now only have two plays, and if you move your king to f8, then you have a simple queen f7 checkmate. And if you move your king to here to h8, then you have a simple knight checkmate. So after this position, if you capture the knight first, then again this open up the queen file to check the king, queen to g5 to check the king, and if the king go inside to f8, then you have a queen to diagonal check the king, and if the king come up, then you can bring another rook to the board and check the king. So here you have a very limited place that the king can move, you see. So the only way you can play is block with the knight. So after knight block, then you have a beautiful move such as queen to g6 and check the king, and the pawn cannot be captured because it's being pinned by the bishop. So queen to g6 check, then if a king move to f8, and you just use the queen to capture, and it will be a checkmate. And if your king move to h8, now you can just use the rook to capture and check the king. And again, nothing, no place for the king to move, and you can just need to block with the knight, then the rook to capture, and you'll be a checkmate. So therefore you cannot take with the knight, and if you take with the knight, if you attack the queen, here the knight after action, and the white will be clearly better with this position. So the best move to prevent this will be playing e6, and this will block the direct here, if you play queen to g5, then the knight can just goes back to g6, and now you have no need to worry as there's not much mate or nothing you can do. The most, if you go for the action, after the action, then the king will just capture and the white cannot do much attack at this position. So e6 will remain the black to be equal. So in the actual game, after this move, the black just capture the knight, and this is one of the tactical blunder, and with this the white is winning the game and mate in 3. I give a couple of seconds to figure out the continuation of the white to play and win. Well, congratulations for those who found the answer, and for those who like to enjoy the show, here are the moves that the white play and checkmate the king in a very simple move. After this move, the white play queen to g5, and now the bishop cannot capture the bishop, and he will mate in the next two moves. And after this, the black just block the check and thinking that it is safe, and this is wrong because the queen can just capture the knight, and this bishop at b3 still pinning the pawn, and the pawn cannot capture the queen. And at this position, the white is completely winning in the next move. And if you use the rook in the actual game, the rook just captures the bishop, and here you have a very simple checkmate with the queen takes g7 and checkmate the king. And with this, thank you.